Crimes that shook Teesside. The death of Lee Duffy. Lee Duffy was a marked man living on borrowed time prior to his violent death in 1991. The ex-boxer and bouncer had already survived 3 alleged attempts on his life. He was shot on 2 occasions and once had petrol poured over him. One of Duffy's acquaintances once said, "He was like the Terminator. He kept saying, 'I'll be back.'" Duffy lived in a violent and unpredictable world of drugs, and in that shadow world there was no honour. Eventually, the cycle of violence turned back on the South Bank-born hardman. In August 1991, Duffy's life came to a violent end when he was stabbed during a brutal street brawl in Martin Road, Middlesbrough, aged just 26. News of his death spread like wildfire. The man with a reputation as the most feared thug on Teesside was dead. Duffy met his death at the hands of David Allison. The men were once friends, but the friendship ended in bitter rivalry. The final bloody minutes of Duffy's life started with a brief exchange of words with Allison at a blues party in the Afro-Caribbean Centre. Witnesses said that Duffy had poisoned the atmosphere at the party by ordering everyone to get out of his way. The 2 men then walked out to the car park. A huge crowd gathered to watch bare-chested Duffy, who was high on a mixture of cocaine, cannabis and ecstasy, start to get the better of Allison, who was having his head banged on the ground. Onlookers said Duffy was beating Allison, who was armed with knuckle dusters, fair and square, and did him quite a bit of damage. Then a friend of Allison's passed him a knife and he plunged it into Duffy's side, underneath his left arm. Duffy collapsed in the middle of the road, calling for help. He was rushed to Middlesbrough General Hospital, where emergency doctors and staff battled to stem the flow of blood from the wound near his armpit. Despite their efforts, he died at 3:55 a.m. on August 25th. Some thought the killer's identity would be the best kept secret, with no one coming forward with witness information. But the day after the fight, Allison phoned his father to say, "I think I've killed Lee Duffy." He then handed himself into police. He was arrested and later charged with murder. He went on trial at Teesside Crown Court in February 1993. During the trial, the court heard tales of Duffy's violent ways, with details of his gun-toting exploits and his history of being a bully. The court was told how Duffy played Russian roulette with a loaded revolver, declaring himself invincible. Allison told the court he feared for his life when Duffy picked the fatal fight with him, as he knew that he regularly carried a gun. Allison smiled, and cheers erupted from the public gallery when a jury found him not guilty of murder and manslaughter. Following his death, characters from Middlesbrough's seedy underworld vied for the top criminal spot left by Duffy. Around half a dozen men looked to muscle in and fill the shoes of the feared crime boss. But police believed there would be no man able to take Duffy's spot. Detective Chief Inspector Brian Leonard, who led the hunt for Duffy's killer, said at the time, "There won't be another bloke like Duffy. He was a one-off."